Can get you right. Create your life. It's a relative life. With Coach Mike. Can get you right. Create your life. It's a relative life. With Coach Mike. Can get you right. Create your life.
Welcome to the Real to Life podcast, a part of BND TV's weekly lineup of shows. I'm your host, Michael G. Davis, broker and CEO of Brooks & Davis Real Estate Firm, Realtor Plus Business Coach. And we have another phenomenal guest for you today. But before I bring them on the stage, I want to remind you that we are streaming live on the Brooks & Davis Real Estate Firm business Facebook page and the Success in Real Estate YouTube channel. So for those of you all that are checking us out live, we invite you to get into the chat, ask some questions, take part in the show. Now, if you have a real estate need, maybe looking to buy a home, or you're thinking about putting your home on the market for sale, great. We ask that you stay on after the show for a very special message just for you. Or maybe you're thinking about getting your real estate license. We're getting a lot of that lately. Or you're already licensed and you're considering making a change. Maybe you need more support from your broker. You too, we want to stay on after the show for a very special message. All right. So without further ado, I want to bring to the stage the 4-time author, serial entrepreneur, real estate broker, Texas Real Estate Kings, my co-founder of Brooks & Davis Real Estate Firm. I want to bring to the stage Mr. Larry W. Brooks.
What's going down, Mike D? Michael G. Davis?
There he is. Well, brother, thank you for being a guest on the show today, man. I always like to give a rundown of why we do the Real to Life podcast. The whole idea was of my 19 years of being in the real estate industry. I feel that as real estate professionals, we hadn't been appreciated. You know, our clients, our customers, sometimes even our colleagues, they put us in a box, right? Not recognizing that we're people too. People with passions, people with many layers. So I wanted to create a platform like this where real estate professionals like yourself can come on and showcase the many passions that you have in addition to being in real estate. So that's what the Real to Life podcast is all about. I know once they hear your story, man, they learn about you. Like I know about you, they're going to want to follow you on social media, man. So where can they find you?
Yeah, by all means. Well, first, Mike, man, thank you so much for allowing me to be on the podcast, man. It's always an honor and a pleasure to sit down and have an intimate conversation with you. But this time we get to share it get the chance to share it in front of the world. So by any means, anyone that's looking to find me, Instagram is my favorite platform. It's at Texas Real Estate King. Of course, you can also find the Prime Real Estate Network, which is a podcast that's been going on for the last 3 years with myself and Mr. Ricardo Davis, Prime Real Estate Rick, and then LarryWBrooks.com. You know, if you're ever looking to find out more about me, want to support some of the brands that I might be a part of, LarryWBrooks.com is ideal. So I appreciate anyone that goes out and take a look at that.
Awesome, man. Really appreciate you sharing that with the audience, brother. And I know Prime Real Estate Network had a really big event on this past Friday, man. You want to tell them a little bit about that?
Yeah, it was, man. We had an amazing event. We brought out some of our past people that have been on the show. Again, we've been 3 years in, so we have over 250 episodes. And so with that many episodes, we've had a ton of entrepreneurs, real estate professionals, title professionals that were in the business that came out, just show love, man. Had a great time just networking. We just wanted to put them all in the same room so that they can see the same thing that we saw when we decided we wanted to interview them. We wanted these people to come together, be able to share each other's vision, time, and energy. So shout out to White Star Title, my man Kip Edwards. They actually were our sponsors for that event, man. And I'm actually sitting in his office now. So with that being said, man, it was a great event.
Nah, absolutely. I knew it was going to be, man. And shout out to you guys for celebrating women in business for the month of March too, man. So that was a really good look as well.
It is important. It's no doubt about it. You know, like you and I know, a large part of the way that our business move is because of the strong women that we have behind us. So by all means, that's a big part of what we do.
Absolutely, man. All right. Well, look, like I said before, the Real to Life podcast is about, you know, what you're passionate about, hobbies, man. So I'm gonna start you off like I start everybody else.
Yeah.
You know, what are some hobbies or activities that you or your family are part of?
Man, that's a great question. So, for those that follow me, they know I love travel. So, travel is a passion of mine that I enjoy. But it seems like most of my hobbies nowadays have just been tied around my son. You know, he's 16 years old, be 17 on April 15th of next month, as far in a few days. And, he's tied into athletics. So, I spend a large amount of my time with his athletic journey. He just pledged an organization in high school called Gents. I had the opportunity to pledge in that same organization 30 years ago at Jones High School. So it was amazing watching him go through that process. But my time, man, is spent between just really spending time around him and all of these different activities. As you know, man, kids can take up some time.
Man, they can take up a whole lot of time, brother.
No
Absolutely. So, so what kind of sports is your son in?
Great question. So he does, so he just regionally, so we'll just give you a background. He's 10th grade, made it to varsity football at Mansville, a Power 5A school. So with football is our very first sport. That's the sport that we're loving right now. Well, so happened after that, we're trying to find a way to stay active and stay in the gym. His old line coach asked him if he didn't mind participating in powerlifting. I had never heard of. I seen powerlifting on TV, but had no idea what it was.
Right.
And the kid got into it, didn't understand it at first. The first meet was challenging because he just didn't understand. When you do powerlifting, when you're going for a competition, they tie your body down, right? Tie your knees down, tie your chest down for when you get ready to lift. So our first one, out of 25 kids, we finished fifth. And so on the very next one, he understood how it worked. He got the mission and went in there and lifted well. Did very well in the competition, and then in the very last one they do 3, and then the last one he actually finished first, which gave him a strong enough setting to where he was able to make it to regional. So as a sophomore in high school, never powerlifted before, a month of training, actually qualified for regionals, and we had the regional meet about a month ago.
Wow, man, that's astounding, brother. You know what I'm saying? Especially with it being his first year and being on varsity as a 10th grader. And I'm with you, man. I'm not familiar with the sport of powerlifting. That's not one of those sports we get here in the hood, man.
It's not what we get in the hood, man. No doubt about it.
But
so it was
for him to be exposed to that, at Manville, and for him to be open to it, man, that's just a testament to your parenting and your openness on how you kind of reared that young man. So that's super exciting.
Thank you, man. And it is because a large part of it, again, it was unbeknownst to me that it existed, but just watching his journey, and we're still talking about an athletic kid that makes A's and B's, and more A's than B's. So we're not even just talking about just a kid that's straight athletic or just an athlete and coming across with number C's. This guy is still locked into making sure you make my grades, because that's what comes first to me.
Man, that it sounds like that young man has a bright future. And it looks like he may not have to tap into your pocket to get him through college. So that's always the goal. Good stuff, man. Well, look, you also mentioned about traveling, man. So why don't you talk to the audience about, what you've seen, where you've been, man. Tell us where's your favorite spot. Why don't you tell us about that?
Man, it's been a journey, man. And I literally think one of the things is when I became an entrepreneur, one of my visions was always to be able to travel while I had youth, right? I didn't want to have whatever the stereotype of what retirement looks like for everyone. And you wait till you're 75 years old to try to jump on and off these planes in order to live a life. And so for me, man, I enjoy traveling locally. I recently had an opportunity to go to Paris. That was cool. That was very unique, actually, because I was telling a friend of mine in the weight room the other day, I was like, in Paris, there's a Louis Vuitton store on every corner. Just like there's a Starbucks on every corner in New York, there's a Louis Vuitton store all over Paris. And so that was very unique to me. But for the most part, man, I mean, I'm a real local. Like Vegas is my favorite city. And people always say, Vegas, why is Vegas? I say, man, because you go to Vegas, it's one of the only cities that's built off money. So if you can't go up there, watch people move and shake and gamble and then come back fired up, like that's what I come back. I come back fired up, rejuvenated to really apply myself in the business and getting in front of people. So I would say Miami is next to that. And that's another place I just enjoy just meeting new people and seeing different cultures and things like that. So, I mean, I've traveled a lot of different places, but for the most part, those are the ones that continue to ring a bell that I at least visit every year.
Wow, man, Vegas, Vegas is an adult's playground,
It
right?
is, it is that, no doubt about it.
Yeah, and then Miami, man, that's what keep you in the gym, right? You go down to Miami, you be embarrassed by some of them beautiful people you run into down there.
Come on, man, no doubt about it, man. Listen, that's exactly why I stay in the gym. I got to be able to take this shirt off with the best of them. When I'm out there sweating on the beach, I need to sweat with the best of them. That's it. No doubt.
Absolutely.
Shout out to Mean Green Training. They keeping me in shape.
That's good stuff, man. Yeah, because I mean, we reflect back when at one point you start taking this wellness journey real serious.
Yeah.
And you've seen the whole transformation for those that have known you from the past, man. So, kudos to you sticking with it, man, and being able to reap the rewards, of a very tough journey.
Yeah.
So, one of the things that I like to ask people, Larry, is with the things that take our time outside of real estate, right? And you talked about what you're doing with your son, with the powerlifting and the football. We're talking about the travel. How do you find time to blend those together as it relates to what you're doing in real estate?
Man, it's a great question. So here's how I look at it. And I always tell this to people because, a lot of times we try to find work-life balance. And for me, I don't subscribe to work-life balance. I think it's doable, but I think you're cutting off one, starting another, cutting off like you're going to have to compartmentalize it. Well, in my life, in the way that my journey works, is they intersect, right? So my friendships, my relationships, these are people that do business with Brooks and Davis. And if you can't afford real estate at the time, you're referring people business. If you can't afford to, if you don't know anyone, then you're purchasing merch, you're purchasing Pure Hustle, you're purchasing some books that I may have authored. But my relationships coincide. So my friendships got to support me, or I'm not sitting down for your birthday and spending $100 on or steak with you. I'm not doing any of those things. If my business and my relationships are not coexisting, then they just don't happen. So for me, work-life balance, they all go together. And the hardest thing I would probably say is just trying to make sure you stay consistent when it comes to certain things.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. That idea of balancing work life, man, you spend more energy trying to do that than you just been going with the flow.
Yeah.
One of the things that I tell people, Larry, is it's more of a pendulum, right? It's kind of similar to what you said, right? And sometimes it's going to swing work, right? Yeah. And then at other times it's going to swing heavy with your family and things like that. But, the reality is that as long as it's swinging, as long as everything is getting ample enough attention, then you put yourself in a very strong spot.
That's correct. I totally agree, Mike.
So with the traveling and with the other brands that you have, like, why don't you talk to the audience about what made you want to explore those things when it came to Pure Hustle, when it came to being an author? Like, what were the things that inspired you to want to move in those lanes?
Yeah. I think when I think about it and what allowed me to slide into those lanes was just, it wasn't really my brainchild in a lot of the cases, right? A lot of times I was focused in my lane, but I was doing very well at what it was that I was good at. And then you would have an outside person that would say, man, you know what? You should try this. Like my very first book that I ever wrote, a good friend of mine, Darren Palmer, self-publishing 30 Days. Shout out to those guys. He saw me and he was like, man, you building such a brand with this networking. I can't go anywhere in the city and somebody not have either heard of you, done business with you, or something of that manner. You should put out a book. You should talk to people. You should give people motivation behind the reason why you get up and do this every day. So my first book project came from the visionary of a friend of mine that saw an opportunity that I could to get better and to share some of the things that I have been doing. And then when it came down to the Pure Hustle clothing brand, again, it was a childhood friend I grew up with. He already owned a t-shirt shop, and he was just like, man, this brand and you just tie in ideally together. This is what we should do. And that was birth. And so I think with a lot of those, even with a Grandparents Love, one of my passions is a Grandparents Love, was a nonprofit that I started shortly after losing my grandmother. I was raised by my grandmother. And so what I saw growing up as a child, was limitations, right? And when a grandparent is raising their grandchild, their funds are limited, their the ability to teach and coach that child on how to be a different person, a different man was limited. And so I found it a grandparent's love just to kind of fill in the gap sometimes for those grandparents. And so one of the most important things I always tell people, especially down here in Texas, sometimes my grandmother had to choose between the electricity bill or groceries sometimes because of the way that the electricity would change here in Texas with the heat. And so we kind of step in the gap with a grandparent's love in order to fix that for people. So just those things. It was just other people that I just kind of saw that helped me became brainchilds around me.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And yeah, the things that you're doing with the grandparents' love and filling that gap for a lot of us from the neighborhoods that we've come from, offering that assistance to, those that have paved the way and they've done their service. Yeah. I mean, look, my grandmother, she's 97 years old and she's still kicking it.
Man.
I tell her all the time, Lane, when I grow up, I want to be like you, right?
97, man. Yeah.
When I get there, man, I want to look like you. I want to have that vitality that she has, man. And so that's awesome, man. Yeah. So talk to us about your real estate journey, man. Like what was it that inspired you to want to get into real estate?
Now I've been in this thing about 20 plus years, but I'm gonna tell you, it's funny. And it's not funny because it's crazy because I've just seen so many things change. But I was in college, a buddy of mine, the Romore family, or a buddy of mine named John at the time, and John had a sister. She was married to a mortgage broker. And so when I got ready to come home, of course, finding a job, you ask your relationships first. Well, the brother-in-law gave me a job as a processor. And so one evening he was actually taking some of the some realtors out to lunch. And I'm like, okay, they dress sharp. They were young. They were dressed sharp, driving nice cars. And I was like, man, what they do? Yeah. And so had an opportunity of tagging along, figuring out and hearing what a realtor was. I'd never heard of them before in my life. Now, at this time, I'm probably my freshman year of college, and we're doing our summer break, and I find out what they are. So I'm like, okay, well, that's cool. I keep my eye on them. Well, needless to say, I ended up getting into the loan side of things because at that time, all you do is pay $300. You can be a loan officer. So I got my loan officer license while I was in college. And then my friend John did the exact same thing. Well, he actually ended up leaving school. He had transferred down to Sam Houston, ended up leaving school about 2 years later and going directly into real estate. And so looking at my buddy, my best friend at the time, driving a Navigator, living in Graywood, I'm like, man, what you doing? And so it's real estate. I'm like, okay, well, I need to know. And then I had an opportunity to dive deeper because we talking every day. So had an opportunity to dive deeper. And he shared just how it worked. And so immediately after graduating college, I got my real estate license. And man, needless to say, I've been here ever since then. And I've just got so many amazing stories that just continue to edify and make me want to stay in this lane and not go anywhere. So, unlike most people, it was my first career, and what can I say? It's just been longevity.
Yeah, that's all I was gonna say, man. Best decisions you could have ever made, huh?
Yeah, man. Listen, best decision. I mean, it's funny because I can walk into rooms and literally can say my first career was real estate, and most people can't say that. Most people be like, "Well, I started here and then I did this," but for me, I can say real estate was what I found my passion in immediately.
Yeah, it's your day one, man. I can't even say that. Real estate was my second career.
It was.
Although my first career was only a year, but it was still.
You found real estate quick as you could, huh?
Real estate was my second one, man. No, that's phenomenal. So, but Larry, a lot of people, man, they get into it and they don't move to that next phase, which is becoming a broker. But you decided to go that path. What was it that inspired you or attracted you about going to that next level of getting your broker's license and so forth?
Yeah, man. I think really what stood out for me is that the brokerage firm that I originally got with was Leger Properties. At the time, it was only two 100% firms in Houston, and it was the Michaels Group and Leger Properties. I ended up with Leger Properties, and I just watched the way that the brokers poured into their agents. And it was like if you worked and you served, they didn't mind answering the phone and being there and being a part. And I had an opportunity to just be on the ground level watching them grow. When I joined their company, they were at 25 agents. No, I think they was at either 12 or 25 agents, one of those numbers. Well, by the time I left and got my own broker's license, they were at almost 250 agents. So I had an opportunity to watch this process. And I'm like, that's what I want to do. I want to duplicate myself. Like I want to work hard, hustle, but then I need more Larry Brookses out there to run this thing. And it was crazy because the same vision that I saw to get the broker's license, and I always tell people this, it gravitated from me being a child, right? Like I sold candy in high school, and one of the things that I took away from that was when I started selling candy, it was other kids, they couldn't afford to go get the candy, but they could sell in different classrooms if I gave them the product. So I would give them the product, get paid a percentage of the product that they brought back to me or didn't bring back to me and sold, and it just was the same kind of way that I duplicated myself in college. And then it was just a natural fit to want to do that as an entrepreneur, as a passionate person when we got into, as we start to build our Brooks and Davis.
Yeah, so that broker model was very comfortable for you already.
Man, I was ready for it. I was ready for it.
You got into it.
So
what excites you about being in real estate?
Yeah. You know, man, I've always been known as a networker, man. Relationship currency. Shout out to my girl KG, Kelly Guillory. She came up with the word. She was the very first person I ever heard say the word, but I'm taking it and I'm running with it. But it's called relationship currency. So I love the passion of meeting new people, teaching new people about the things that I've learned through my journey. And it's just nothing like it. And, you know, in real estate, you're going to meet somebody new each and every day, as long as you ain't sitting behind a cubicle and not wanting to be involved. So every day I can literally say I go out, I meet new people, have an opportunity to explain to them about the journey or help them skip from making mistakes when it comes to this industry. So I'm very passionate about that part of it. And I know it's one of those things that I've been asked and spoken to over the last 20 some years about, you know, getting into this thing, finding a way to maybe touch more lives through not just doing it with people inside of the brokerage firm, but just out in the public and getting in front of the computer screen more and doing more of these podcasts just to kind of build out the brand and let people know what it is that's going on. So for me, it's just to meet new people, man. And that's the sweetest thing about real estate.
Absolutely, man. And I hope they're out there paying attention to you, Larry, because I tell them all the time, if you're going to be successful in real estate, you got to get out the house, right? Right? You know, being successful in real estate is exactly what you said. It's about going out there and meeting people every day. Not sometimes, not every now and again. Every day you need to be out there meeting new people. And, you know, it's funny, Larry, man, I talk to people and they say they don't like people or they don't like meeting people. I'm like, we might want to reconsider.
You might want to reconsider. You might want to focus on just apartment locating in this business. And the funny thing about that, at some point you're gonna still have to talk to people, but that'll be as further as you can get away from this business and this journey as a licensee, man. You got to get out there. And it's crazy because not only do you do it to go out and meet the public, but you need to do it within the circles and the advisory boards that we have as enjoying the associations, man. Like I don't know if you had spoke about it, but we went last Wednesday, I went to our state capitol. We had Realtor Day out there. Yeah. I got this shout out to this amazing cool. That right there.
Tell us about it. No, I didn't talk about
so it was an amazing time, and we went out there. We had over 3,500 realtors from the state of Texas to show up to the Capitol and go and meet with our representatives. And this is powerful for two reasons, right? Our realtor party is the second strongest party in Texas. We're only behind the governor. His party is a little bit stronger, but when you show up like that, you're able to improve things for homeowners and homeowners associations and people that are developers and builders, a lot of those people. And then especially for us as licensees, right? There's always some entity trying to find a way to sue us and come for our monies and the way that we get paid and the structure of our commission. So we have an opportunity to go out and not only protect our licenses, but for homeowners that, you know, we're keeping your property fees down. You know, one of the things that stood out that is crazy to me that I didn't even know, and I want to point this out, is it's the area of Missouri City. They're trying to limit people being able to put gardens in their backyard. Well, you know what took off, right? It took off during the pandemic. People was like, okay, well, I'm just going to start making my own fruit and vegetables. You have homeowners associations out there that's trying to fight and say, no, we don't want you to create your own gardens. And they got grocery stores lobbying against it, lobbying with them. Man, come on, man. So us as our realtor party, we're here to step in the gap and say, no, let's go meet with our politicians and let them know this is not going to float. We want people to be able to do what they want to with their home within, you know, regulations that make sense. But gardening is not a problem.
Right. That is bananas, right? That's crazy. But no, I really appreciate you sharing that with us and the time that you had spent down there at the Capitol as well. So what's next, man? So what's next for you as it relates to maybe real estate, as a pure hustle? Like, what's next for Larry W. Brooks?
Man, that's so to continue to build out the brand, to continue to be that guy, Larry W. Brooks, to be able to facilitate and have a last name that my son can walk in and be proud. But in addition to that, man, I'm excited going into April 1st. I'll be partnering up and trying to use using a system of coaching there at Brooks and Davis. We're at the point to where our agents are flourishing. They're looking amazing. You've done an amazing job getting them all coached up. And so now you're hitting your max, and I need to be able to come in and step in that gap in order to help out a little bit to kind of continue to help them grow. So I'm looking forward to doing some coaching, and I want to let you know that you're not off the hanger, because I'm definitely going to be reaching out to my coach, my mentor, which is Michael G. Davis, in order to help me as I go through the process of teaching new agents some of the things that have allowed you and I to explode and to build out one of the largest and fastest growing brokerage firms in Texas.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. So excited for you and welcome you to coming into that seat, not just for, how it will impact me, but just the opportunity for our agents to hear a different voice, to get a different perspective from somebody that's been a stalemate in this business, been in this business longer than me, been exposed to things that I haven't been exposed to, so they can get that all around universal viewpoint, man. So, super excited for Brooks and Davis itself to have this additional perspective being poured into, and our agents now having access to that as well. Coaching is one of the things that we promote a lot. Support is something that we promote a lot. So now they're going to be able to get a double dose of it, man. It's just mind-boggling, the opportunities that people will now have being members of Brooks and Davis, man. So super excited about that as well.
Well, let me ask you this. I know on this podcast, because you are a coach, sometimes you lead into questions where you kind of help give some answers. As I'm thinking about this and as I'm putting the program together, what advice would you give me? What is it that could help me remain focused as I go through this?
You know what, man? Enjoy it. Right.
Okay.
Enjoy the process. It's something like I tell parents as well. Right. Because, sometimes as parents, we can get frustrated. Yeah. Right. Our kids got us moving around. They're not moving in the vein, or they're not moving at the speed, or they're not, they're not lining up to the vision that we might have had for them or our expectations. Right. Yeah. So it becomes frustrating. So we begin to lose out on the enjoyment of having a little person or a mini you or somebody there to go through life. And to have the opportunity to assist in their growth and their development and their guidance. Okay. So it's the same way with coaching, right? Because there are going to be some moments when they don't quite comprehend what you're saying, or they don't fully understand it. They don't fully execute it. They get discouraged. They begin speaking or saying things that you're like, man, where is that coming from? What's wrong with you, right?
Okay.
But, as you be patient with them and as you continue to care about them, then you'll begin to feel that excitement and fulfillment as they do begin to listen, they do begin to develop. You will begin to see how they change and how things change for them, and they begin to transform. And then they begin to get excited. Okay. So it's very enjoyable. It's a very enjoyable process if you be intentional about saying that you're going to enjoy it, right? Yeah. So that was something, man, I wish somebody would have told me long ago. Okay. Right? Maybe that would have dealt with some of my, frustrations or things that come from the process. But now that I've adjusted my frame, okay, it really is pretty enjoyable, man, when you spend the time with people and you're helping them grow. So it's an enjoyable process. So that would be my advice. Before I let you go, man, do you have any final words for the audience or some last statements?
I would just invite each and every one of you all out there to support the audience. I invite you to follow me on social media. Again, my favorite platform is Instagram. I try to drop a gem here and there, but you all are always appreciated. If there's something that I can do in order to help you, or if you want to support me in some of the things that the visions that I'm trying to imply, by all means, feel free to go to LarryWBrooks.com, purchase a hat, purchase a book bundle, anything like that. But for the most part, man, I'm just excited. I want you to know that myself, Michael, the Brooks and Davis family, we're out here. We're here to help you get developed. And, you know, in any way that we can do that, any capacity we can, feel free to reach out to me.
Absolutely, man. And look, and you notice, man, it's very rare that people can get both of us in the building or anywhere together.
They got to accept it, man. That's a fact.
You know, so man, I really appreciate you being on today as a guest, man. This episode is probably going to take off, right? Because, you know, having Brooks and Davis together, just talking and chopping it up, man. Every time that we've done this or we've had the opportunity to do this, then we always get great feedback from it, man. So I really appreciate you allowing some time out of your day. I know you're at the event, you know, you're missing out on some CE credit, but, you know, so I really appreciate, you know, you doing that for us today, man, and being a guest on the show, brother.
No doubt about it, man. It's been an honor, bro. Appreciate you.
Absolutely, man. All right. Well, look, family, I told y'all it was going to be a great interview, a great time together, man. Like I said before, we rarely do you get both Brooks and Davis on the screen together. Looking forward to, you know, the things that are in store for Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm as we continue to push the needle forward and we continue to crank this thing out, man. So shout out to Larry W. Brooks, co-founder of Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm. All right, before I let you all go, just some upcoming events, things coming down the pipeline, a part of Brooks and Davis BND TV, our weekly lineup of digital shows. Coming up at 2:30, we're going to be doing our Realtor Happy Hour Live, which is real estate professionals just talking a little bit of randomness, right? We have random topics. We, you know, go live on our YouTube and our Facebook pages as well. We look at trending topics. We look at current events, some real estate industry related areas. We discuss those. It's just shop talk, man. Like we get together. It's a very lighthearted show. A nice break in the day for us to get together. So we're going to be doing that today at 2:30. Every Tuesday at 2:30 we do that. And then tomorrow we have our event with AMCAP, right? So AMCAP Mortgage is coming and they're going to be talking to us about condominium financing, right? You know, as the market is, you know, I will say squeezing a little bit, as it's shifting and maneuvering, right? And as you're paying attention to what's happening, the opportunity or the condominium opportunity is now something that people should really pay attention to. So tomorrow, we're bringing in some experts with AMCAP Mortgage, and they're going to talk about their lending product that speaks to the condominium prospect and the condominium process. So you definitely want to come learn about that. We'll have some food so you can grab some lunch and learn about it. It's going to be in person. So if you want to eat, you got to come to our central location here at NRG. Or if you just want to have access to the information, then you'll be able to log on to Zoom. But you got to make sure that you RSVP, reserve your spot so you can get the log on information. So that's going to be this Wednesday. So that's tomorrow at 12 o'clock. Then Thursday, you get another dose of the Texas Real Estate King, Mr. Larry W. Brooks. Matter of fact, you can get a dose of him every Thursday on the Prime Real Estate Network. Well, again, another show, a part of our BND TV weekly lineup. They're going to be going live on our Facebook business page and YouTube channel, as well as the Prime Real Estate Network's social media. Every week, they bring in a phenomenal guest that speaks their story of entrepreneurship, gives some great information and gems that people that watch the show can usually apply into their lives immediately to take advantage of the knowledge and the information that they're exposed to. So every Thursday at 12 o'clock, you'll be able to tap into the Prime Real Estate Network, and that includes this Thursday. So make sure you all go and check that out. Mr. Larry W. Brooks and his co-host, Mr. Ric Davis, which is my co-host on Monday Night Live that we do on Mondays. All right. And then also on Thursday, we're going out to Saratoga. We're going out to Cypress, Texas. right? So we have a West office that's off of I-10 and Willcrest, and we reached out to all of our agents on that side of town and said, we're coming to you, right? So this Thursday at 2 o'clock, we're going to be having a builder's field trip plus lunch. It's going to be at Saratoga Homes Community that's out on Cypress and Cypress Oaks. We're going to be learning about their phenomenal product. The great thing about builders and the new build opportunity, there's a number of incentives that are out there for buyers. So we're going to learn about those incentives that we can utilize with Saratoga's product. We're also going to learn about their particular product so we can really expose this to our prospects, to our audience, to our friends and family, so we can continue to be that resource to others. So that's going to be, again, Thursday at 2 o'clock. Right. Remember, you do not have to be an agent with Brooks & Davis Real Estate Firm to participate in our events. You just have to be licensed. You just got to make sure that you go to the website at www.brooksanddavis.com and RSVP at our event. You do not have to be a member of Brooks & Davis. All right. Finally, as Larry was talking about this as well, as we've been in this business, now we want to get to the point to where we create impact. We want to leave legacy. Being in real estate, being licensed close to 20 years, having over 1,000 transactions under my belt, investing multiple hundreds of hours, academic hours into our craft, tens of thousands of dollars into this craft of coaching. There's a lot of people that I know I can help. So inside of the Brooks & Davis family, yes, we have the one-on-one coaching, but we also do the group coaching. Right? Every day, our agents have an opportunity to do group coaching with me and be able to tap into those strategies, tap into those resources. Matter of fact, on today, I started my day off in group coaching with some of our agents, just giving them some intention for the day. And the great thing about it is that it's one thing to have a coach. It's another thing to listen to the coach. And the one thing that I can say about our agents is that they do listen to their coach, especially the ones that do listen. They are able to see the results. So we're glad to be able to provide that. But outside of Brooks & Davis, I wanted to, again, expand. I wanted to impact more, which is, again, something that Larry talked about. So that's something that I put in place. I'm doing presentations. I've created 4 amazing topics. And every day I build and add content to those topics, more information, more insight that I can share, because I feel these are strong topics that if people truly indulge themselves in, then they can use those topics and the information and the exposure to them to take their businesses to the next level. So now I'm looking for opportunities to speak, to talk to groups, to talk to individuals, to talk to organizations, to train other organizations like I train mine, right? So these are the 4 topics. They're on the screen. If you're interested, you got to go to the website, michaelgdavis.com, go to the bookings page. You'll be able to learn more about the topics. You'll be able to hear others and the impact that they received by participating in one of the presentations that I've done. I'm able to frame it in an hour. I'm able to frame it in a 3-hour. Right now, we're finalizing where you'll be able to get CE credits for the classes that I'm going to be teaching. So right now, there's an opportunity for at CEO Coach Mike to come in and develop your team, develop your group. And right now we're running a promotion where I'm waiving my speaker's fee. So now's the time to take advantage of it. I encourage you, go to michaelgdavis.com to the bookings page so you can learn more about that. And then finally, every Tuesday, right? Again, I want to touch more people. I want to impact more people that were outside of Brooks & Davis. So what I decided to do was launch what I call the World Changers Table, right? It's a 1-hour group coaching session, group coaching opportunity for individuals that are not Brooks & Davis agents to spend time with that CEO Coach Mike so we can talk about problems, challenges, gaps that they have in their business, right? And I'm not cheap, right? So I had to create something that was affordable. My one-on-one option is not cheap. I recognize the value that I bring to the marketplace, that I bring to a person that spends time with me and allows me to coach them and develop them. I know what that value looks like. But I felt like there needed to be an affordable option. And that's what the World Changers Table is, right? It's something that we do every Tuesday evening. We alternate between in-person and virtual. Matter of fact, if you go to the website on the screen, and you'll be able to learn more about that, you'll be able to, again, hear testimonies. You'll be able to book your seat. There's no contracts. All you have to do is pay for your seat for that day, and you get an hour with SEO Coach Mike, and we can deal with whatever is holding you back from realizing the success that you want to have in your business, right? Again, you're able to take advantage of, the years of experience, the thousands of transactions, the hundreds of academic hours that have been spent, and the tens of thousands of dollars that's been invested. You'll be able to take advantage and tap into all of that, right, at a very affordable cost. So I encourage you, go to the michaelgdavis.com/WCT, take advantage of the World Changers Table so your life can be changed. The reason I call it the World Changers Table is because I want to change the world. And the way for us to do that is by first changing your world. And that's what the World Changers Table is all about. All right. Shout out to everybody that's checking us out, that's in the comments, that's participated in the show. We're so grateful for your participation and your engagement with the Real to Life podcast. I want to do a quick reminder that, again, if you are in the process of looking to purchase a home, or maybe you're thinking about putting your home on the market for sale, you're thinking about getting your real estate license, or maybe you already have your license and you are looking for a brokerage firm that does offer more support. Like, you like what you heard from me, and you like what you heard from Larry, and reading some of the comments from our agents. And you understand that if you had that kind of access to those resources, those people, that support, if you were plugged into that kind of soil, it will take you to the next level. Stay on after the show. We got a very special message just for you, so we can talk a little bit more about what Brooks and Davis offers. With that being said, man, this has been the Real to Life podcast. Shout out to our guest, Mr. Larry W. Brooks, Texas Real Estate King. Took some time out of his busy schedule just to give us some insight into his life, some window, some wisdom, and just to talk about some upcoming things that he has going on. I'm your host, Michael G. Davis, broker and CEO, Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm, realtor plus business coach. Looking forward to coaching you into the cosmos. It's time to take off, baby. Make it a great one. Hey, this is Michael G. Davis, CEO of Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm, LLC. I am also a realtor plus business coach. If you are currently have a real estate need, or you're in the process of getting your real estate license, or maybe you've already gotten your license, awesome. Watch this whole video because I have some outstanding news just for you. Now, if you are considering buying a home, we want you to know that we offer at no cost or commitment to schedule a showing for you to see any property in the Houston Metroplex. But when you hire our real estate company to help you, we will hold your hand and guide you through the home buying process step by step. Visit our website or give us a call at the number shown to learn more. Or maybe you're considering putting your home on the market for sale. We want you to know that we offer at no cost or no commitment a couple of things. First is the free neighborhood buying and selling activity report for your home. This report will show you the amount of buying and selling that has taken place within your neighborhood within the most recent 6 to 12 months. All we need is your mailing address and email address to get the report over to you. We also offer at no cost or commitment a free in-person property condition home evaluation. This is where one of our real estate professionals will come into your home and give you recommendations and advice on what changes to make to the condition of your home, and talk with you about how these changes could help sell your home faster and or for more money. But when you hire our real estate company to help you sell your home, we will put your home in front of more active home buyers than any other realtor. Just visit our website or give us a call at the number shown to learn more. Finally, if you are in the process of getting your real estate license or with a brokerage firm and thinking of making a change, we want you to know that we offer at no cost or commitment for you to be able to attend any Brooks and Davis real estate firm training or event. But when you join our firm, we will show you how to get everything you want using your real estate license. And what we believe real estate professionals want are an outstanding quality of life, the freedom of having options, and the ability to pursue what makes them happy. Visit our website or give us a call at the number shown to learn more.